let's get into the main event. We're here to talk about Drake. Yes, that Drake. He is finally back, which I say finally, like he never really left. He, out of all kind of like this modern era of big name artists, he has always been pretty consistent with his music and his drops and releases. He never really leaves the studio, as it seems, even though, you know, I'm sure he's extremely busy these days, but he always kind of delivers for his fans and for his people. And he's back once again with an album that he said is going to be for the fans who want to hear him rap, which is me. I want to hear him rap. I want to hear him rap, like rapidy rap. Like, I know he can sing, I know he's versatile, I know he can do all these different genres and sounds and styles, but I love when he gets in this rapping bag. It's been a minute where he truly just gave us a full project of that. He always has bits and pieces, some here, some there, and he always tries to balance it, but I just want a rapping album. This is why I'm looking forward to this one, because this is what he said he's going to deliver. Now, I've kind of been radio silent in terms of opinions. I have heard, well, I've seen a few here and there. From what I've definitely have seen, it seems to be mixed. And I think in general, that's kind of been the overall feeling and thoughts on a lot of his recent projects. Like, I haven't been a huge fan of any of like his recent albums that he's put out. They've all kind of come and gone for me. I don't really go back and check for them. I go back and check for older stuff more than anything, but I'm looking for one of those albums that can kind of like really get me back into my fan bag, into my Drake fan bag. But he just hasn't quite delivered that for me personally. But let's see if we can do it here. Track number 1, Drake, For All the Dogs, Virginia Beach. Now, something tells me that this could include some shots to one artist who is from Virginia, Pusha T. Something that he's never fully let go of, and for, you know, obvious reasons, it's probably the one L he's kind of took in terms of like beef and back and forths. But let's find out. Track number 1, Virginia Beach, Drake. And right when I said this could be the rapping album that he kind of long promised his fans and that I thought we were going to get, and he comes out singing right off the back, of course. That's not how I discovered you. Strip club, probably strip club. I feel like he's had some of these cringier bars more and more these days. The baby and you, hot mom. Ugh, come on. Okay, it's kind of that typical Drake intro that we've gotten over the years, kind of that slow, somber, half R&B, half rap, kind of somewhere in between type of feel and vibe. And the subject matter is, again, more women who have kind of broken his heart or that he's lost over the years. It's kind of tried and true and tried kind of territory that he's tread on so many times over the years in his career, and kind of what you come to expect from Drake. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I guess when my expectations were that we were going to get a like rapidy rap project, it's kind of disheartening to hear him come out right out the gate and singing. But let's go to track number 2, Amen, featuring Tizo Touchdown. Again, it's very much in that kind of Drake lane, that kind of part R&B, part rap, kind of slow, somber, a little bit of soulful kind of backing vocals. But I like this one so much more than Virginia Beach. I think the production is absolutely fire. The vibes were definitely hitting here. And like, I think this is when he, again, this is something he does a lot, but he does it at a super high level, and this is him doing it and delivering it once again at a very, very high level. So I F with this one, and I like Tizo, so I think that's a dope collaboration, and dope to kind of see him kind of get his name on like this super high elevated level. So maybe now people kind of go check out him more. It's kind of that Drake effect. And that's one thing I will give Drake props for, is that he always kind of brings in kind of younger, newer talent, while he does kind of eat off of that attention as well, and kind of gets that kind of like that wave and kind of like that hip effect. Like he knows what's going on, but he does know what's going on. So I will give him props for that. And it's always dope to see him kind of reach out to, you know, artists who are still kind of trying to make their way. But let's go to track number 3, Calling For You, featuring 21 Savage. All right, the first half I was definitely feeling, and it's again that very typical Drake sound and song and whatever. Second half was not terrible, but far less enjoyable, and overall as a song, Calling For You definitely feels like a leftover from their joint project that they just released, which I can't think of right now off the top of my head, but it certainly feels like a kind of throwaway leftover, and it doesn't quite hit on the same level as some other songs on that project. Yeah, I mean, it's just forgettable. I don't know, like I don't see myself really going back to that one very often, or if at all. Let's go to the next one, Fear of Heights. Solid track. I definitely won that. At least with the beat switch up, that it really kind of like picked the energy up a bit, picked the aggressiveness, picked up that feel that I was kind of looking for from a rap album. Like Switch Up was tough, Switch was dope. First half again was feeling very samey to what we've been getting. Switch Up was cool, song was all right. But again, I'm just not wowed yet. I have not been wowed yet. Let's go to Daylight. Finally, get something a little bit tougher, a little bit more energetic. Finally. Was that his son? It's got to be his son. I hope that's his son, because that shit was terrible. I don't mean to hate on like a kid, but that gotta be his son. Trying to pull a Jay-Z, like, has to be. Took me completely out of the song. Like, I was feeling Daylight maybe second highest so far on this whole album that we've kind of started listening to, and that back portion took me out of it almost immediately. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but please, you had something going for you. Like, you finally was kind of maybe riding the ship, like going a little bit tougher, songs hitting a little bit harder, like, and then that came on. Like, I don't mean hate on your son, but that shit was terrible. Please don't do that again. Let's go to all right, I'm gonna lock in for this one for sure. Drake, J. Cole, first person shooter. Like, he has to be spitting on this one. If he's not, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing at this point? About time. Like, oh my god, like, why did it take so long to get to this point, bro? You said you was giving us a rap album. Like, this is the energy I was expecting from the jump. About time. Oh, so okay, so we did react to J. Cole's verse on Lil Yachty's song, I forget the name of it now, where a lot of people, myself included, thought he was taking shots at NBA Youngboy, and he's kind of contradicting himself here. He's saying if he's really taking a shot, he would hit you with caller ID. But come on, bro, who else could you have been talking to? Like, nothing else fit or made sense considering what was going on. And here he's saying he would still like to do a song with YB. I think he's trying to kind of take the grown man road and route and whatever, and like not escalate things to an unnecessary level, which is always cool. But bro, stand on what you said before. Just stand on it.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, bro, I mentioned this earlier when we were listening to that verse, that J. Cole has been an absolute monstrous tear over the past few years with his guest features, and he ain't missing. They always say who the best is, it K. Aubrey, K. Aubrey, or me. We the big three. Like, we started our own league. Like, come on, man. All right, now, Drake, let me see what you got. Come on, bro. Okay, so he didn't even try to compete. Is that what that is? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what he's doing? Like, he's just not even really trying to compete. Like, if you get J. Cole on a song, which is this their first song together? Like, I can't really recall them ever being on a song together. And you know J. Cole's gonna come in here on some lyrical ways to try to kill him body and show that he is the best rapper alive. And I was expecting Drake to be like, nah, chill. Like, I still got that. And instead he kind of went like that young rapper, young boy type of flow where, yeah, it sounds cool, like, but you really ain't doing nothing lyrical, nothing crazy, like, so you're just not competing. Like, I'm a bit disappointed because this song is absolutely fire, but I was hoping on some rapper-ish we would get some competition. But one of them chose not to compete, and that's kind of disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. Song's still fire. I just wish he really tried to tap in. All right, whatever. Let's go to the next track. I Don't Give a F featuring Yeet. I was about to say, like, where are we headed? I was very confused at the beginning. This is the definition of you almost having the first half there. I had no idea which direction this song was going to go, especially having Yeet on here, then having the intro like that. It was, I don't know, it was a bit strange of an intro, but the beat was tough. The beat was tough. It was definitely very much in line with what I was kind of expecting when I saw the feature. It's definitely kind of in that, I don't know, that kind of trend of, it's not quite rap, kind of more hype type music. It's, you know, kind of that Playboy Cardi-esque sound that you would definitely kind of hear from him. And Yeet and a lot of artists, and even like Lil Uzi and like a lot of artists from that kind of make. And I guess one of Drake's biggest kind of qualities is that he is a hip hop chameleon. Like, he can adapt to almost any style, sound, or flow. And he does it once again here. It's not my favorite kind of form of him, but it is a cool little song and he fits in quite nicely. Yeah, and again, like, it's cool just to see him kind of reaching out to like these younger emerging artists. Part of it is selfish, obviously. He wants kind of that rub that he would get from them, that clout, that hype, that freshness that would come from working with like a young underground type esque artist, even though he is kind of far past that, but kind of in that vein. Let's go to the next track, 7969 Santa. All right, that's a random kind of Snoop Dogg interlude. Like, a lot of these songs have kind of weird cuts and weird beat switch ups and interludes and like all that in between. Like, but I will say the second half of this one was far stronger than the first half. It's not even a half, it's like just the second part of whoever that was singing. I know it wasn't Drake. I don't know what feature, he doesn't have them listed here, but that was far superior than what we were getting on the earlier part of this track. And like, again, it's more R&B Drake. It's like, where's the rap? That's all. Where's the rap? Let's go to Slime You Out featuring SZA. Hold up. Did she just say what I thought she said? Yo, let me rewind that back.
Bruh.
Yo, she had to violate like that. Like, barely third place. Third place? I mean, still top 3. Let's not be lying. A win is a win. Still top 3. You still medal. But, like, you ain't got to violate like that. I mean, this is like the Drake formula, right? This is kind of the Drake sound. That production is something that it's not the same as what we've heard before from him, but it's very similar, and it's kind of follows that same formula that he has perfected. He has, you know, granted, he has perfected his formula, and it has worked for him very well. But it's just that, like, we've heard this so many times. So many times, and like, this is a good song. This is a very good song, and I would go back and listen to this again. And honestly, this is the first time I've heard it, even though I know this is the first single that he released. And again, SZA washed him. Everything that she's pretty much touched feature wise this year, she's washed people. And like, she's on a tear, and it's dope to see her like really becoming and growing into her own like form of star that she is. And like, she's washing people on all these tracks, and rightfully so. She's a great singer and a great songwriter, and like, she delivers every single time, and she's done that once again on another feature here. But overall, man, this is just the Drake formula, the Drake sound, the Drake song. Like, it's good. It's very good. It's just, I've heard this so many times before from himself, so I don't really know what to say. Like, it's cool. Like, add it to the pile, I guess. You know what I mean? Go to the next track, Bahamas Promises. Cool. Again, same sentiments, same feelings. Like, this is classic Drake. Kind of a slow summer song where he talks about his feels for like older women. Like, well, not older women, but ex-women, like, in his life, and you know, perceived slights and whatever. Like, this is just kind of the Drake package. Like, I know it might sound crazy because it is a Drake album, but it's like, this is, I don't know, a lot of these don't feel like they needed to be made or released because we've had some version or versions of this before. And yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I don't know. Let's go next track. Tried her best. Cool. Another one. Another Drake R&B track that's very much in his lane and in his formula. And it's good. He has good enough vocals. I mean, subject matter is fine. Like, it sounds good. Like, it sounds good. That's all I can say. It's a good song. Not great, but good song. For the next track, Screw the World interlude. Leave it to this album for one of the few actual rap songs we have to be from somebody else actually rapping. And to be a screwed up version of If I Rule the World. Like, come on. He just play, yo, he gotta be playing with us at this point, because there's no way he thought this is what people wanted. Like, no way. Let's go to the next track, Drew or Picasso. Ooh, okay. That's the halfway point. About 10 more tracks to go. I'm just gonna give my halfway thoughts of what we've heard so far. Is that this is very much in the tried and true lane of Drake over his entire career. He did promise us the old Drake, and I think it would be so literal. Like, a lot of these songs sound like variations of stuff that we've already heard and gotten from him. And I'm not saying like they're bad songs. Like a lot of these aren't bad songs. And if I heard this in the right environment, at the right time, in the right mood, I'm sure that they would hit me on a much more significant level. But when I had such high expectations for him to actually be like rapping and spitting and like delivering us something a bit tougher than what he's given us over these recent years, it's kind of a disappointment. And like for me, like this is not what I wanted to hear from. It's not what I was like really expecting to hear from all the rumors and all the speculation and kind of what he had been mentioning in like his posts on social media and like whatever. It's just overall feeling very dull, very old, very like been there, done that. And I don't know if he's able to switch it up along this back half, but this first half, there's only like a few really standout joints for me. And that's very surprising coming from a Drake project who, even if you don't always agree with the direction that he takes, he does have a lot of songs and aspects of his music that really stand out, regardless of really kind of how you feel about him or what you wanted necessarily. He always kind of delivers what he does at the highest level. And I don't think this is even him delivering his sound at the highest level. This is just kind of like B versions of stuff that we've already heard. And it doesn't help that his subject matter is also very much the same as anything that we've ever heard from his career. It's always the same. And I'm just really hoping the second half picks things up, but we'll find out. Let's go to the next track. Members Only featuring Party Next Door. On another note, when's the last time we've heard from Party Next Door? I feel like it's been forever. Like I can't remember the last actual song that I've heard from him. Like, talk about artists who never really lived up to their full potential. Like, people really expected him to be like the next massive thing, and maybe songwriter wise he has, maybe he's still out there doing his songwriting thing, but like on the front of himself as an artist, like has not really lived up to the billing, has not been delivering, has not even been out there. It's kind of weird. I don't remember last time I heard from him. I mean, I will give that one. Drake and Party Next Door never ever really fail to deliver when they come together on a track. The chemistry is unmatched and, you know, is undeniable. And I think Party Next Door is a very, very talented artist that we don't hear from or see nearly enough. But when he does pop up, it's always pretty fire, especially when it's with Drake. You can expect a good song, and that's exactly what they delivered here. If not the typical, usual kind of expected vibe that you would get from a track between these two, it lives up to that, like, which kind of seems to be the whole theme of this album as a whole. Like, almost been there, done that. Like, it's cool, good song. I would hear this again, I'll listen again. But if you were to play this to me like out of context, I would assume that this is from one of his older projects, because it definitely fits in with anything that he's had before. And again, not the worst thing, but not exciting. Cool song though, but not exciting. Let's go to the next track. What would Pluto do? Okay, I'll stand by it. I'll say it once again. Like, I will stand firmly by this. Rapping Drake is far more interesting and impressive and enjoyable than the R&B Drake that we've been getting here. Like, he finally picked things up energetically. Like, there was a long period of songs where everything was just in this kind of low sound wave, low energy, very somber, just kind of sad, almost emo. And then we finally get this, like, he's still kind of talking about the same things, like kind of shitting on some kind of ex-girl or whatever that did something to him. But at least production wise, vocally wise, it picked up energy. Like, it gave you something to like really grasp onto. And I appreciate that. Go to the next track, All the Parties featuring Chief Keef. Oh my God. Just when I thought he was about to get his bag, just when I thought we were about to get some absolute fire-ish, finally, like some real rapping, some real rap energy going on, he had to switch it up. Why, bro? He had something. Cool song. God, it had so much potential going for it. Like when Chief Keef came on and the beat was going, like it was really like giving that energy. I thought finally we're getting back to it. But no, he switched it into a straight up R&B song once again. Like like that slow song part's not bad. It's not bad. Like it's good. It's solid. It's just like, who the hell is trying to hear Chief Keef on R&B song? Who? You had something going and then you had to switch it up. It's like he can't escape this like mode he's in. I don't get it. I don't get it. So next track, A&M and Charlotte. Hold up. Let me log back in because I know these type of tracks that he normally like gets some crazy bars off, and like it's some of his favorites for mine is like the 6 a.m.s, 5 a.m.s, like all those. Like, let me lock back in and really see and hear what he's saying, because hopefully this is where he gets the bars off. Okay, that's a cool little flip right there. Cool little flip. Okay, this is at least the classic Drake that I absolutely love. Because your actions don't match your words like a foreign film. Okay, you got some cool little bars right now. Okay, like I said, those are like my favorite kind of songs from Drake. Like I think, you know, those are a lot of people's favorites from him, like the 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Like I said, like those are where he like just goes in and gets shit off his chest. He gets some bars off his chest and gets you the rapping. He gets you the actual rapping. And why I don't think the bars here were like some of the toughest that he's ever put out. There's some cool little, you know, wordplay, some dope little lines. Like it was cool. Like I don't think it's the most exciting thing that he's done in terms of like these timestamp type theories, but he did his thing. Like they're always worth a listen, and it fits in with the rest of this album. I just wish we were getting things a bit more energetic. Everything's so low key right now. Let's go to BBL Love Interlude. I like that one. I like that one, even though it kind of still playing in that kind of low key, somber kind of sound range. I like it. I like it. It was enjoyable. Let's go next track, Gently, featuring Bad Bunny. No, please no.
Bruh.
Drake, I know you are a chameleon. I know you can do all types of sound genres. You butchering Spanish is not what I want to hear on the track. Oh my God. Hey, are we supposed to take this seriously? Come on, man. No, stop, bro. Please. Bro, who in this camp is like, yo, this is fire? Yeah, put that out. Like, oh yeah, keep speaking Spanish. Like, come on, bro. Will Ferrell speaks Spanish better than you. What movie was that Will Ferrell was all Spanish? Like, that was less of a joke than this right here, Drake. Like this, oh my. How about that? Yo, if I find it so funny, I would skip straight to Bad Bunny right now. That beat slaps. I ain't gonna lie, the beat is an absolute slapper. Like, you heard that in a club, it's impossible not to go up to. But I know you are trying to like eat off of this kind of reggaeton wave right now, because you always try to eat off any wave that's gonna pop up. But bro, stop. You should just give this song to Bad Bunny straight up. Like, if this was just a Bad Bunny track, this would be 10 times better than it is. But that beat does slap, I ain't gonna lie. But Drake, I don't need to hear you speaking or rapping in Spanish ever again. Go to Rich Baby Daddy. I know Sexy Red is like a thing right now in music, and especially hip hop, and I know that she feels a specific lane in hip hop and a specific style of rap, but Jesus, like, I don't know if I've ever heard her say like 5 words outside of speaking about shaking that ass and sex and her, you know what I mean? Like, again, she feels a very specific lane in hip hop. She does it well, but she says the same things on every song. Yo, she be eating tracks like, yo, she be spazzing. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Again, I've said this multiple times, not just this reaction, but other ones. But like, anytime SZA hops on somebody else's track, like, she bodies it. All right, that was fire. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fire. I was gonna say, going through this whole track list, and it's kind of crazy. Like, Drake hasn't really had like what sounds like a club hit on here, but I think he has one with that one. Like, I can definitely see that one going kind of crazy in the clubs and the bars and whatever, and like definitely getting girls to sing along with the hook and with everything else going on. It definitely had people dancing and getting, you know, getting kind of turned up to it. It only took 20 tracks to get to this point, but this is like, I think his first certified kind of like club hit. And SZA, as always, absolutely bodies it. Like, every feature she's on, like, I'm loving it. Like, I don't really care in what capacity it is. She just does her thing and like absolutely takes over tracks. And she did that once again here. I think the ending part was kind of unnecessary and tacked on, but he's really in love with like these beat sequence switch ups throughout this entire album, and it's getting a bit tired. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a bit tiring. But the rest of the song, fire. 3 tracks to go. All right, let's go. Another late night featuring Lil Yachty. It was cool. I mean, it was all right. Like, it was kind of his take on like that SoundCloud era type rap beat and sound, I guess. And I didn't really expect that from Drake, especially at this point in his career, but he's clearly trying to appeal to the younger audience still, and like kind of that younger crowd, and kind of tap into like that little Uzi Vert fan base. And while I think he has some production to do that, I don't really see it really like resonating that much with him. Like, he's cosplaying as one of those type of artists, and that's not him. And like, while he is a chameleon and he is capable of doing that to a decently high level, it just doesn't feel very authentic to who he is as an artist, and like seems pretty forgettable, quite honestly. Like, it's a cool song, like it's not a bad song, but like I'm not gonna be thinking about this even, I think, a week down the line. Like, it's just another one of those kind of SoundCloud throwaway type songs. But it was all right. Like, it was just like, I don't know. Let's go to Away From Home. Okay. only took like 22 tracks to get like him really just rapping, like give me a rap song. Like, this is cool. Like, I like this. Like, the beat is tough. Like, the beat is definitely catchy and you can vibe with it and everything. Like, I like what he was saying here. Like, he was spitting. Like, he had some really poignant things to say and get off his chest, and like, it was interesting. Like, this is one of the more interesting songs that I've heard so far in this project. It just took a really long time to get to this point. But all right, let's last track. Let's get through this. Polar Opposites. Let's go. All right, cool song. Typical kind of Drake slow outro, but it was good. Again, it was good. I think it was definitely one of the better slow songs on this entire project. It was a good way to kind of end things. Now, my thoughts overall for All the Dogs is, what dogs is he speaking of? Like, specifically, what dogs was he speaking of? Because when you have a title like For All the Dogs, you're thinking of something a bit more aggressive, a bit more high energy, a bit more like, I don't know, more rappy. Little hip hop, like. But instead, what we got was a straight up R&B album with a few moments of hip hop sprinkled in there, like Drake can be, as a lot of people say. Like, I don't know if I'd be as disappointed in this album as I was if I knew this going in. But like a lot of people, if you had been on Twitter or like on social media or anywhere else, expectations were to hear him rapping more like he was early on in his career, and that he's clearly very much like capable of. And he even kind of alluded to over the past year, so that's what he would kind of be getting back to. But the balance on this was entirely one-sided to more slow tempo, somber, sad R&B tracks, which is cool sometimes, and he is very much capable of, and has shown that as well as career. But to get 20 tracks of that, give or take, is a lot, and it was a slog to kind of get through. And they weren't even like his most interesting R&B songs that he's put out in his career. Like I said, everything kind of feels like a variation of something that he's already done before, and that in itself is disappointing, because I don't know, expectations are extremely high when you continue to claim that you are the greatest rapper out there and that you've been holding things down for so long, which are both, no, I'll give the second part the truth. Like, you have been holding things down at an extremely high level for more than a decade now, almost approaching 2 decades. But when you've been successful for that long and you have kind of shifted the wave of music so much into this new direction where rappers are trying to be R&B artists and R&B artists are trying to be rappers, and vice versa, and everything in between, and a lot of people are kind of copying your style and doing your style as well, if you don't shake things up, they start to feel tired. And this is one of the first times where I can say I'm draked out. Like, it was a very tired listen from front to back. Like, everything felt old, everything felt labored, and everything felt like I've heard this before. It's to the point where I know his formula. Everybody knows his formula. It's tried, it's true, and it's been successful for him. But it's also becoming a crutch, and he doesn't seem to have been able to break out of it as much as he tried, or if he even tried. It just doesn't feel like he's taking any chances anymore, and he's just doing what's comfortable for him, which still produces solid music, but nothing exciting, nothing noteworthy, nothing that can stand up to the best projects out there or even anything else in his catalog. This is the first time where I truly feel draked out. Like, I've heard this before. I've been down this road many times. There's only so many times you can only speak about the successes that you've had, the old women that you've had in your life that have hurt you, perceived slights from other people. Like, we've all heard that before. And the few times that you actually tried to take a chance, you were appealing to the youngest audience in hip hop. And you were basically dumbing yourself down. Another Late Night being a prime example of that. Which is fine. They like to say hip hop is a young man's game, but nah, it's Jay-Z, and a lot of people have proven that wrong over the years. It's not that. It's just that the genre is young, but it's not young anymore, and it's maturing. And it's okay for you to mature as an artist as well. And you're no longer in your 20s, and you're still rapping like you're rapping to teens, which is okay. But it's like, what else? What else do you have? Is this it? Have you seen all your tricks? Is it done? And there's nothing new? There's nothing new, exciting? Is there nothing like groundbreaking that you can do? There's not even like a pop hit on here, which a lot of people aren't fans of, but you have shown that you can do a pop hit, like a massive pop hit, and you don't even have that. It's like, I don't know. And then the one time we finally get a chance, an opportunity to hear you like spit and rap and show that you are truly the top rapper in the game. You have J. Cole on a song who has actually been bodying and murdering everything. You got washed, and you really didn't even try. And it's disappointing. That's just my overall feel of this album, is that it's disappointing. For 23 tracks, for an extremely long album, especially in this day and age, there was very few moments that were bright spots for me. And I don't really see myself revisiting this very often, if at all. Like, quite honestly, you can just add this to the very long list of highly anticipated albums that year that have disappointed to the highest degree. I'm dragged out. But yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings about this album. Upon first listen, I might give it a few more spins. Things might change, things might grow on me, but I don't really see that happening. You guys let me know what you guys think about this album. What were your favorite some tracks? Which ones were your least favorite? Do you think it's time for Drake to really shake things up, production wise, lyric wise, everything? What do you want to hear from him in the future? Like, do you think it's time for him to kind of like really take a step back and evaluate and grow and come back with something more exciting, take more chances? Let us know in the comments down below.